Have you guys heard the news? Jeffrey Epstein didn't have a client list, and he actually self-deleted. It's a video by Penguins Charles. This Jeffrey Epstein news is crazy. Now, we covered this situation from multiple different angles, okay? A couple months ago, before everyone performatively unsubscribed from your boy because they're soy, we talked about the potential Mossad connections, the Ghislaine lore, as well as her father, Robert Maxwell. Is this an intelligence honeypot, blackmail, ring, human trafficking, syndicate? Or is it just a lone wolf? We also covered Kash Patel on Joe Rogan's podcast. JRE, all day, jiu-jitsu by night. And nobody trusted Kash Patel. So let's listen and learn and see what we can uncover when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein.
The conniption. I'm sure all of you have seen this by now, but I have to yap about it. It is infuriating. New information just dropped from the Jeffrey Epstein investigation, if you want to call it that. I don't think that nomenclature applies to this circus that's being performed here with all of this. It's a clown show. It's about as much of an investigation as Bozo investigating a pie that was thrown in his face. It's a fucking joke. Read this headline and tell me it doesn't make you fail the try not to fume challenge.
DOJ FBI review finds no Jeffrey Epstein client list confirms suicide. Memo.
This shit has got me steaming. They are trying to, with a straight face, say that Jeffrey Epstein never had a client list and did commit suicide. There was no foul play, no fishy business there.
Yeah, he just did it for the love of the game. Just a lone gooner. He just loved massages and little girls.
That was no horseradish, no flag on the play.
Yeah, so why did Ghislaine go to jail?
Just a classical suicide. Also, no client list, no blackmail, no evidence of either of those two things. How peculiar, considering it wasn't that long ago that they were
Ghislaine doing 20 years for trafficking, but no clients? Huh?
flaunting that the client list was coming out, the Epstein files were releasing. They even gave the Phase 1 files to a bunch of influencers online for some...
I remember that, the photo op day. Look at these cute little binders. It actually made me a bit nostalgic for school. Working on book reports, putting shit in the laminated folders. All nicely organized.
Some photo ops, and they were posing like fucking prom pictures. They made a big hoopla that those were the Epstein files in their paws right there. And they'll eventually release to us plebeians out here. Well, if there's no client list...
If you were sex trafficking, would you have a convenient list of names as if you needed to write it down? Yeah, I probably would. You know, just for the sake of organization.
What the fuck is in those folders? What, Pokemon card binder? Like, what did you give them? Yeah, apparently there's no client list, so what did you hand them? Just an empty file? An empty folder? And not only that, Pam Bondi herself here, she has made so many statements about, like, how the Epstein client list is on her desk right now. You know, it's over there gathering dust. She'll eventually...
See, a lot of people voted for transparency in this regard. In terms of conspiracy theories and assassinations and redacted documents. And we just haven't learned shit squat on a Tuesday afternoon. In fact, I'm more confused now. And everyone just pats themselves on the back. They're like, oh yeah, we're doing the American people a favor. Giving them what they want. Everything in our control. In power. That we can show you, we're gonna show you. You can trust us. You can definitely trust us. Trust me, bro.
Brush it all off and drip feed us the information as it comes in.
And they also act like we're fucking retarded. Can we talk about that? The ways in which information is delegated to the public is in such a way as if we're like 6 years old.
Everyone that's on that list is gonna face justice. She was cutting WWE promos about the Jeffrey Epstein client list. She'd even set hard dates on when it's gonna drop like it was a new album. Mark your calendars, sports fans. The Epstein files dropping on this date. And then the date rolls around and it's just nothing. Like, actually nothing Burger Central. Like, shit got more delayed than Half-Life 3. It just never showed up, even though she would set dates, and then all of a sudden she's got excuses for why it's not there. But now, apparently there was no client list in the first place, so what the fuck was sitting on your desk, Pam? How could the client list be sitting on your desk when the DOJ and FBI say that there is no client list?
There's also some weird fuck shit going around with the FBI headquarters. Everyone's getting shuffled around and fired and relocated. I'm pretty sure it's illegal for me to talk about.
What an interesting pickle. That's quite a conundrum. She says that she had the client list, like a physical copy on her desk. She constantly has referenced the client list, spoken directly about the client list. But now all of a sudden, DOJ and FBI said it's not a real thing. I have no idea how she's even going to begin to tackle that.
Jeff was just trolling when he roped himself. That's classic Jeff.
That plot hole.
You know, we used to say, he pulled a Jeffrey. Because that was Jeff. Everyone, it's just a Jeffrey Epstein thing to do.
There. It is crazy how stupid they treat the rest of humanity. Like, all of the people on the planet are lobotomites, and they can be fed any information whatsoever, and they'll accept it with a smile on their face and think nothing of it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Those people definitely exist. Not just in America, but worldwide. However, here at Third Eye Global, I mean, you're talking to elite level, high IQ individuals, agents, operatives.
And in some cases, that does happen. But in something like this, there should be 0 people on the planet that are happy with this and believe this. Because this is the most blatant, fraudulent lie since Wes Watson lying about being 6 feet tall. This is absurd. This is just ridiculous. It is downright diabolical to be doing a cover-up job like this. It's literally fart investigated poop and found no shit. They have talked...
I've never heard that until today. But it checks out. This is the same DOJ who has all the Diddy tapes and won't say anything about them or who's on them. I'm not surprised. Well, what we're not going to do is re-victimize the victims. Joe Rogan's sitting there with his mouth open, agape. Huh?
About it themselves for so long about having this client list and all of this blackmail evidence and everything, about how all of them are going to face justice. Pam Bondi talked about tens of thousands of videos that they recovered as well. Like, how are you going to just wipe your ass with that and expect people to believe it? If anyone believes this, you need serious psychiatric help. If you actually swallow this shit they fed you with this information, that it's, a case of suicide, no client list, and no blackmail.
So, I think it very well could be self-deletion. That's not the stipulation that really bothers me. It's a coward way to go out. It's a classic Jeffrey thing to do. However, the security guards sleeping with the most high-profile prisoner on the planet? You have one job? Bro, do you know how many lines of creatine I would snort to stay awake and alert? And the security camera footage just not existing? Oh wait, yes it does exist, but there's hours or minutes or seconds deleted from it? The camera's just turned off?
You really need to take a hard look in the mirror, because you are just not like a thinker. Like, you don't have a thinking cap on at all, because this is just absurd. There should be no one
I always stay strapped with my thinking cap
on the planet that is fooled by this. This should make you mad. It absolutely should make you very upset, because this is blatantly covering up for corrupt, evil people.
I mean, what a generational fumble if you're that security guard. I hope you never get a job again in security.
High positions of power. I saw this said as a joke, but I actually think we're pretty close to them just denying Jeffrey Epstein ever even existed in the first place.
Yeah, he's not even real. He's a figment of your imagination.
I really think the next step here is they're going to start talking about, like, evidence to confirm that Jeffrey Epstein was never real. It was a code name for, like, a shadow operative that never actually existed.
Jeff who?
There was no island, there were no victims. I think we are not far away from them trying that play, because they are using every weird tactic in the book to try and bury anything even remotely related to Jeffrey Epstein, while trying to put on a strong face about how everyone's going to face justice. Well, where's that? That hasn't happened, and it hasn't happened for years. So
Getting attacked by the Matrix? USBs are being plugged in and out? all around me.
What is up with all of this lying? They just keep kicking the can down the road. They have still not released the Epstein files, and now they've put the kibosh on it, saying the Epstein files aren't even real in the first place. It was all just made up, a fucking illusion. So now it is 100% ensuring everyone that was associated with all of that evil gets away with it.
What about Elon's tweet? We're going to talk about that? Remember that cute little feud over on X, over on Twitter? The reason why we're not getting the list is because someone is on it. Yeah. I mean, we knew that, right? That's not novel information.
And they're just proudly doing it in front of the entire American public's face, spitting in everyone's mouth by trying to say that doesn't exist, it's not real. No client list, no blackmail, nothing like that, and he did kill himself. And apparently...
Is it true? I mean, it's a classic Jeffrey thing to do, that he had the picture of Bill Clinton in a dress. This is real, right? Is this a psyop? Nah, it must be AI, huh? And what about the other one? With the towers? And George Bush? With the paper airplanes? You guys know about that one? Yeah. With the Jenga blocks? Can I even show this? 100% I'm gonna show it. Is this just a mass hallucination? That's an interesting one. That's just a classic Jeffrey move, though, you know? Because now we're all speculating, years after, just scratching our little noggins going, huh?
Apparently they're releasing some surveillance camera footage, like a lot of hours worth of that, to show that no one entered his cell during any of that time. Obviously just doing everything in their power to put the conversation of Jeffrey Epstein and everything around the topic to rest. So now you have the three-letter organizations all working together, the DOJ, the FBI, the DVD, the VCR, the BBL, all of them working together, now trying to sell this horseradish about there being no client list.
Or other countries as well. I don't think it's unique to the US.
And no blackmail. Like, I cannot believe that they are just trying to just say that. Even though it's been something they've supposedly acted on and investigated for years and made huge progress on and want to get the information out to the American people because of these dangerous individuals that need to be held accountable and face justice for the crimes that they engaged in on Jeffrey Epstein's island. It was even used as a political talking point for some individuals to gain positions of power, using it as part of their platform about how they're going to fight for justice.
Like Kash Patel. That is true, and it's annoying. All these people running on a platform of truth and transparency, and we get nothing. Bong Dangino. Yeah.
And release these Jeffrey Epstein files that have been, clogged up for so long and not, the information not out and available to the public. They were going to be the ones to break that dam. They were going to pursue this, come hell or high water, fighting night and day for it. And now those people have been elected only to flip-flop, and now they're totally fine burying.
So what happens when these people get elected? So they get brought to a boardroom and they're like, I swear to God, if you say a single peep, we're killing you and your entire family. Do we blackmail our own elected officials? Or is it more of a compartmentalization, you don't have the clearance to know that? Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to. Eyes wide shut, Stanley Kubrick type deal.
The Jeffrey Epstein subject entirely. You should be asking yourself, why? I'll stop ranting on it, but it is just mind-boggling how dumb the government thinks everybody is. And I hope they're not right, because under no circumstances should this be something that people just let go of. Like, oh, this is a bit of a blemish right now, but people forget it in a little while. It's not that big of a deal. It's a huge deal. And there should be nobody out there downplaying it. This is preposterous. And I just had to yap about it.
Who was the Israeli spy that did a very similar thing that got his cover blown? I covered it in one of my videos, but I'm so lost in the soy sauce, I could look it up. If you guys have the name off the top of my head. I think it was in South America. Nah, it's ChatGPT it. Who was the Israeli spy whose cover was blown for running a sex circle in South America or Central America? That's it. Eli Cohen. Eliyahu ben Shahul Cohen was an Egyptian-born Israeli spy, best known for his espionage work in Syria between 1961 and 1965, where he developed close relationships with the Syrian political and military hierarchy. Okay, all I'm saying is, intelligence honeypots are not uncommon. Now let's watch Coffeezilla's analysis. Let's hit it from another angle.
No client list and offed himself. That's according to Axios in a big scoop. They apparently got a hold of this document from the US DOJ and FBI. Kind of a joint statement here. We're going to go through it. They say, as a part of a commitment to transparency, the Department of Justice and Federal Bureau of Investigation have conducted an exhaustive review of the investigative holdings related to Jeffrey Epstein. Sort of a relook at the evidence, if you will. And they come to some very interesting findings. And it's interesting in that it's contrary to what a lot of what they've been saying all along. And that's what's kind of the problem here. For the last few months, we've been teased along with these statements about, you know, oh, we've got the client list.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Except there's no client list. Classic Pam Bondi, bro.
We've got thousands of videos.
There are tens of thousands of
We got rug pulled by Epstein. That's crazy.
videos of Epstein with children or child.
And then, you know, Kash Patel goes on Joe Rogan and says, hey, there ain't no videos. If I had a video of a guy on an island committing a felony, don't you think you know about it?
Again, logical.
This was my favorite JRE episode ever. A lot of transparency. Kash Patel, absolute GOAT. I love our elected officials.
Play out. If there was a video of some guy.
You could trust me, right, bro? You could totally trust me, right?
Now, committing felonies on an island, and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
It's already. Seems like a bit of a contradiction. Now, Joe Rogan even tries to give him the out, like, oh, maybe you don't have it. And he's like, no, we're giving you everything.
If you have access to it.
If I have it. Period.
Right.
If I have it. If I have it.
I may or may not have it. The jury is out whether or not I can locate it. But if I had it, I'd show it to you.
Right. If you have it.
Right.
But you can't say that you have it.
No, we have it. We definitely have it.
No, we're giving you everything we have.
So far.
Everything we have so far is
Have
the
you guys
universe.
gone over all the video that's available?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's what takes so much damn time.
And so there already was a wedge with what we were sort of told we're going to get versus then they come out and say, hey, nothing to see here. And today is a little bit more of that. It's a little bit more of the finger wagging at the conspiracy theorists, which is ironic given that both Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, who have now come out saying there's nothing to see here, guys, were saying, oh, there's a lot to see here before they got in.
Who killed Jeffrey Epstein?
That's what I'm saying. That boardroom meeting must have one-shotted both of them. I'm telling you. I don't know if it's us blackmailing our own people or if it's compartmentalization with security clearance where you're not allowed to know, or if it's that don't ask questions you don't want the answers to. I don't know. Maybe a combination of all three.
This doesn't look right. It doesn't look like a suicide.
It's unbelievable. The guy killed himself.
Now,
This is just insane physiognomy all around. Like, listen, I kind of want our intelligence officials to have bugged out creatine eyes. It's just funny that both of them have it. Like, that's a little odd.
Now, maybe that's because they did a deep dive and they're just being honest with people.
Again, you want me to get... I've seen the whole...
What is going on here? What? Holy buckets, bro.
He killed himself.
But I think you deserve criticism if you're going to engage in this type of conspiratorial thinking and then when it's convenient for you, you expect the trust of the people. If you're the one...
It's from Seeing the Truth. Holy shit. Yeah, imagine they go in bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I can't wait to learn the truth. And then they're just, dear God, what have I discovered? Just fucking shadows of their former selves. Just husks.
One saying like, hey, those guys can't be trusted. You become that guy and you go, well, guys, you can trust me, right? When I'm going to say the exact same thing everyone's been saying this whole time. That's why it's so stupid. I mean, you guys set up all the wrong expectations. You told us we're going to reveal the truth.
It's like when you keep your eyes open while removing the Ark of the Covenant.
And now they're saying there's nothing to see here, and shame on you for thinking there was. And once again, this is more self-contradiction.
Maybe it's better for us to not know. They are heroes, ignorant sheep. We think we know best. All I know is an agent of the state is hacking my computer right now and unplugging my USBs, and I'm gonna crash out.
Because in this statement, we actually find immediately first page, second paragraph, saying that there's a large volume of images of Epstein, images and videos of victims who are either minors or appear to be minors. My question is, there's no one else? In this statement, they admit that Epstein harmed over 1,000 victims. So you got 1,000 people.
How do we not have every victim identified and put into an Excel spreadsheet? We have unlimited resources. We are a Big Brother dystopian nightmare. If there's information out there, we have it. It's like, are we retarded or are they retarded, bro? Who is it? I'm done playing this game.
Either some form of evidence that he harmed, nobody else was involved.
This is it's almost like Scientology or Mormon levels of bullshit. You know? It's like, I know you're fucking lying. Stop.
Epstein's around the most powerful people on the planet. 1,000 victims. No, nobody else. There's images and videos. Apparently, that's what they say. Nobody else is on camera, right? Because otherwise, that would mean that the FBI director went on Joe Rogan.
Why not both? True. I'm really fucking smart. Everyone's an idiot but me.
And told a lie. Told a little fib.
If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
But he says he's going to get the...
They're definitely running a mass experiment on the population. Yeah, it's just like the new astroturfing campaign. The problem is, bro, with all intelligence stuff, right? Shit gets declassified years later, and there's nothing the public can do. We're cucked. They could look at us straight in the face and say the most heinous shit, and we still wouldn't be able to do anything about it. What is there to do? Fucking talk about it on podcasts? Yo, you see that crazy thing that the CIA came out with? Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Oh, today's video is sponsored by AG1. I swear, all of this information is meaningless. It's just podcast slop.
The evidence out. So how do you square this, right? There's 1,000... Was Epstein just filming himself the whole time for did he put it in the evidence box? I mean, that's the ridiculous thing about this. Why would you film yourself committing these acts? That's where the whole...
True, I mean, I can't redact it because even talking about redacted will get you disappeared to a black site in redacted. Yeah. Dude, you can't say that.
Blackmail angle came from there's all these videos.
No, but even if the FBI and DOJ came out and gave us the information where it was fucking reality bending allegations, right? Turns out he didn't kill himself. Turns out there's an expansive client list. What happens? Is there any accountability? Does anyone go to jail? Are they even the real perpetrators? Sweeping arrests? Yeah, okay. I'm telling you, this shit's already booked and cooked. It's already planned.
For what, right? And
who's watching the watchers? That's my question. We don't have a council of magi of grand sorcerers.
I'm sure those people, these powerful people, did not consent to being recorded. So what else
Bro, they couldn't even convict Diddy. What are we talking about here?
was this being used for? It's just pretty amazing. This whole statement seems to absolve any third parties, saying that they really have nothing else that they can bring that would expose third parties to allegations of illegal wrongdoing. Saying later, this systemic review revealed no incriminating client list. Now, here's where I gotta say, like, yeah, what, you didn't find the little notebook that had the, like, every guy that did something wrong on it? Yeah, obviously that's probably not gonna exist, right? But if you have videos and somebody appears in the video doing something bad, it's not a client list, but that's a client, right? So
That's true. Who was the prince? The soy British guy? Was it Prince Andrew? Sweating buckets next to the underage girl?
Oh, I just find it so hard to believe. I just don't believe. I'm going to be honest. I do not believe that you had so many videos, apparently enough to catalog over 1,000 victims, and not a single other person other than Epstein appeared on any of them, right? He's friends with all these famous people. He got rich, and nobody knows how he got rich. People suspect that it was some form of blackmail, but
It was inheriting Robert Maxwell's fortune. But even then, it's like, what the fuck? It's not really adding up.
FBI seems to basically say this is a conspiracy theory. They say perpetuating unfounded theories about Epstein serves neither of those ends of combating child exploitation and bringing justice to victims. You know, I actually agree with that. I do think we have to be careful not to jump to, conspiracy theories. The problem is when you release contradictory evidence, it makes people think that you're hiding stuff. Like that is not being helped in this release. I don't know if they're saying, oh, we're being so transparent here. Seems like
He's a financier. He was connected to a lot of very rich people. Here's the thing. Jeffrey Epstein was not a financier. He had no fucking financial background whatsoever. He didn't have a single client. He had Les Wexner and Robert Maxwell, the owner, founder, or the scaler of Victoria's Secret, and a literal Mossad triple agent super spy. Hello? Hello? No, I'm gonna go to jail. Somebody's coming to my house right now. I'm gonna get fucking DDoSed. I swear to God, the brakes on my car works, okay? I would never be into gooner stuff. You guys know me. I'm gonna do a control F. I could have sworn this was on here. I mean, that's just a lot. That's just a lot of Israel's. 33 on the front page of Wikipedia. That's just a lot, you know? Let me get the direct quote. Robert Maxwell was buried on Jerusalem's Mount of Olives in the presence of numerous Israeli intelligence figures. Shamir declared that Maxwell has done more for Israel than can today be said.
the first big release was a nothing burger. Then they said they had, reviewing.
But guys, that's Robert Maxwell. People allege that the connection with Jeffrey Epstein is because of that relationship.
All these videos. Then they say if we have videos of people committing crimes, we tell you about those. And then they say we have thousands of videos, but we're not going to show you them because.
And like I said, all of this is public information. This is all just, I'm throwing it out there. Make do with what I show you.
There's nothing to see. There's nobody on there important. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Quote, we did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation.
Is there a gnome trapped in my nuclear reactor PC signaling fucking, what's that code? What's the code if you're stranded? Holy shit. Morse code? Stop. Philion. No.
Against uncharged third parties.
Someone's trying to contact me through the USB port.
In other words, there's nothing we found that would be useful for a future investigation. That's what I find so interesting. Like, I get if you don't want to accuse someone in a press release of something that you haven't accused someone of, like, with criminal charges, right? I get it. That's kind of the Department of Justice's way. Even if they have a file on somebody, but they're not going to charge them, they redact their names, usually. But in this case, they're kind of saying, we don't we didn't find anything that we would, I mean, it's such a strongly worded statement.
I gotta turn this off right now. Not the video, these system sounds. Set device. What are we talking about here? Oh my God.
That's what's weird about it. Why wouldn't you just be vague if you have...
Holy buckets, bunker buster bombs are being dropped on my forehead.
Cases, right? I find it so weird that the people in the FBI right now have come in with such a mission to, on the one hand, say, hey, we're going to be totally transparent. And then, oh, well, we're not going to show you that. We're not going to show you that. We don't want
I swear to God, my doorbell's going to ring in the next 4 hours. It's going to be 2 men in suits, and my memory's going to be fucking wiped.
Re-victimize anyone. Okay, that's fine. But then how are you going to make a bunch of absolute statements that make no sense and contradict what you said earlier? Like, if you're saying we can't say anything, then don't say anything. Don't say, hey, we're going to tell you everything.
And I already have a built-in red dot sensor on my forehead, bro.
Well, we actually cannot. You know, we can't actually show you. And that kind of overconfidence extends to also their, you know, pronouncement about, hey, there's nothing to see here as far as the death of Epstein, because they don't really show much new here. We knew that this footage of the common area existed. Basically, they showed...
What is this fucking crack den, bro? This is where we stored the most infamous, heinous, diddler, human trafficker on the fucking face of this earth? Holy shit, this looks like the underground of a 7-Eleven.
10-hour footage of the common area during the time at which this all would have happened, Epstein's death. And so this is supposed to be like the absolute bulletproof, you know, to show everyone that, oh, there's no way that someone could have gotten in here. But this is not actually Epstein's door. So, I mean, I don't know the exact layout of the prison. I'm not going to pretend to know everything there. But this is no more proof than we already have.
Is this like the snack cabinet? What is this? Is this where the security guard falls asleep? Where? Dude, I need a fucking guy to sit down and provide a PowerPoint presentation and answer questions from people. Don't just throw it on my lap. Do your job. Go on Tim Dillon's podcast or something. You know what? That won't even work because they already went on Joe Rogan's and we got no answers.
Actually, Epstein's door. So, I mean, I don't know the exact layout of the prison. I'm not going to pretend to know everything there. But this is no more proof than we already have.
Bro, there should have been a GoPro strapped to Epstein's fucking forehead with a live camera feed to Times Square, New York City. What do you mean, bro? What do you mean? The best we get is a fucking Razer flip phone, 144p, potato maxed resolution bullshit. This country's a joke, bro. I'm just gonna go black pill now.
This is supposed to be like the absolute bulletproof, you know, to show everyone that, oh, there's no way that someone could have gotten in.
Was that the garbage can moved? There's a ghost in cell block 46.
Oh, to show everyone that, oh, there's no way that someone could have gotten in here. But
bro, my Ring doorbell has better fucking... My bird feeder in my backyard has a sharper image and can identify the species of the birds. I'm gonna crash out. Bird watching creeps up on you, by the way. You know, you'll be there at level 27 being like, oh, that's a blue-footed booby.
This is not actually Epstein's door. So, I mean, I don't know the exact layout of the prison. I'm not going to pretend to know everything there. But this is no more proof than we already had. We already knew this existed. The questions were about all the security malfunctions of the much more important cameras than just the common area. I'm not sure how a 10-hour video of a common area definitively proves anything new. That's what I'm saying. You can't come in and go, hey, we got this bombshell. It's what you already knew, right? That doesn't make sense. And also, we've confirmed there's over 1,000 victims. Don't know who by. I mean, like, only Epstein? Really? Look at the charges of Ghislaine.
Do I need to just become a government official? It seems like you could just not do your job and get set for life.
Maxwell. I mean, it's insane. Are we saying they were all to Epstein? Every single one. Over 1,000 only for Epstein. The way he got his money, we have no idea. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, an incredibly frustrating day for anyone who is expecting
1,000 victims? Did I hear that right? Like, a lot of this information's hitting my brain, but like I'm still one-shotted by the absurdity of all this news. 1,000 victims, and we don't have more information? You realize how many people 1,000 is, right? Like that's more than an auditorium. 1,000 bodies.
Anything new from this, administration coming in saying they were going to clean house, get rid of the corruption, fight for truth, release the truth. You're not gonna catch me hiding a guy on an island, right? And so I don't know. I was kind of stunned to see this report. I just thought, if you're gonna say this,
the only person that is aware of how many bodies 1,000 is Bonnie Blue.
Which, again, doesn't really say anything new, only kind of...
Yeah, there's a modern, well-funded high school's worth amount of victims, and we're just sitting here twiddling our fucking thumbs. Holy buckets.
It's kind of like a backhanded, hey, stop being such a good...
The FBI is using a very clever technique of re-releasing underwhelming info to exhaust people of the subject. Is that astroturfing? What would, let's figure out here. What method of propaganda is it called when an agency releases or re-releases information that is underwhelming to elicit fatigue in the message receiver's minds and or perception? I'm thinking of astroturfing, but this seems similar, but not quite a one-to-one match. Perhaps fire hose of falsehoods? Help me out. Help a brother out. Desensitization. Censorship through noise, information overload. Causes the audience to become fatigued, confused, or indifferent, ultimately disengaging from the topic. Damn. Yo, are we actually just being used as test subjects for effective propaganda in 2025? Weaponized transparency, deliberately releasing truthful but underwhelming or context-free information to appear open while simultaneously burying more significant content or manipulating perception. Goal, diffuse criticism while exhausting audience interest or focus. Well, there you have it.
Conspiracy theorists, guys. That is what I find strange. Just the absolute over-promising and under-delivering. I mean, again, if you're going to open source everything, okay, that's fine. If you're not going to open source everything, you're going to say, hey, we got to protect people. Fine. Don't make a bunch of pronouncements and don't deliver on them. Just kind of a complete self-own here. But it's also what you get when you say for years that the deep state is hiding something and then you become the deep state.
I don't know what to think, because all of this is one-shotting the normies' brains. And I like to think that I'm not a normie, but I'm still getting one-shotted. Many such cases.